Take two. Can everybody hear now? If so, put your thumbs and hearts up. If this is your first time as a guest to see us on Facebook Live at Bealeton Baptist, we want to welcome you. And we want to say, check out our website, bealetonbc.org, and you can find out information about our church there. Also, if you have prayer requests, friends, family members here, just email that to our offices at bealetonbc@comcast.net. And hopefully we'll get that and we can pray together. So keep talking to us, we'll fix this, and appreciate it, you hanging with us. Today is recognition service for our seniors, class 2020, and we want to bless them in a special way today. Also, Stephen, you want to switch the video there for us? CareNet is still, we still have some bottles. If you want to come by the office during office hours, you can pick up a bottle still. I really appreciate how you guys are always so giving and helping with that. All right, this morning, let's worship Him together and just sing from where you are, seniors, and you online sing with us as well.
Mine just.
Just in His righteousness alone, faultlessly stand before
up through the storm. He is Lord, Lord of all. No matter what's going on, we're going to praise Him in the midst. Let's sing this song together. I raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I raise a hallelujah louder than the unbelief. I raise a hallelujah. I
things that we have as believers, as followers of Jesus Christ, is the ability to pray for people. And, sometimes what happens is, and especially in this time of COVID-19, we think that we're not together. And so therefore, God doesn't hear our prayers. The reality is that the God of the universe hears our prayers where we are, because he meets us where we're at. And so this morning, we're going to be praying for some people, we're going to be praying for some friends, but we're also going to celebrate some of our seniors who are going to be graduating today. Donna, I want to let you know it was kind of a scary thing to hear that you were taken to the hospital this week, but I'm glad that you're home and I'm glad that you're doing well. Lord, I also think of Richard and Kathy. We've been praying for Richard for some time. Richard passed on last night, and we need to be praying for Kathy and the rest of the family and encouraging them. We're going to be praying for a number of our other families that are going through some difficult times as well. But we're also going to celebrate our seniors. Continue and be reminded that we're going to be praying for them. Will you join me in prayer? Heavenly gracious Father, we just thank you for who you are. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your kindness. Lord, we know that you hear our prayers and that you encourage us. Lord, we pray for Donna. We thank you that you got her to the hospital, to the right people at the right time. We thank you that she's home. We ask that you be with her and be with her family. Lord, we pray for Kathy, and we ask that you be with her. We ask that you encourage her, let her know that Richard is in a far better place. Father, we thank you for what you're doing in the lives of many of our family members, and we ask that you encourage them as they go through some difficult financial times. Lord, we ask that you be with Mike as he deals with his situations as well. Lord, we love you and we thank you for who you are. And Lord, we just hold these times up to you. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Hey everyone, it's Austin. I hope you guys are staying safe during these crazy times, but I wanted to take a minute to forget all that. I wanted to be able to say thank you, not only from me, but from the senior class of 2020 here at Bealeton Baptist Church, for everything that you guys do for us and for me. All from the little things such as slip and slide kickball in the backyard of the church, or the big trips such as World Changers and other missions groups. You guys have always been there and been someone we've been able to talk to and get great advice from. You've always been supportive of the choices that we make and always look to see that we grow to a next level, not only in adulthood, but also in our religious life. You guys have been amazing. I couldn't have got here without you, and I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything that you've done.
Mom, thank you for always being there for me and encouraging me to keep going. You always helped me learn from my mistakes, and that made me grow. Dad, I miss you a lot, and I wish you could see me graduate. But at least you didn't have to go through quarantine.
Hey Mom and Dad, I just want to thank you for just putting up with me and pushing me through and helping me do all the things that I do, like just encouraging me to play drums, to learn more about computers, and to just like learn new things and try different things, and it definitely, I would not have made it through. I would not have had as much fun if I didn't have you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for always believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you for taking me to late night events. Thank you for coming to every sports event I've ever done. Thank you for teaching me to be the best me I could ever be.
Hey Mom, thank you for all you've done with me through my spiritual journey and my academic one. Thank you for giving me all these interests, such as theater and everything I've done with that, and then France, and giving me the opportunity to actually go to France and live with scary people. And thank you just for being there with me through all of it and giving me the opportunities.
Nana and Papa, thank you for always being there for me and taking me and Lily on vacation trips. I will always cherish those memories. I love you guys so much.
And finally, I wanted to say thank you, Mom. Thank you for everything that you've done for me from the time I was born till now. You've always kept me on a straight path, made sure I was making the right decisions, picking me up on football games at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I know weren't your most favorite things, but you did them because that's what moms do. You're always there to support me, and you always gave me the most love that I could ever ask for. I want to say thank you, Dad. Thank you for always waking up and taking me to early morning hockey practices and weekend tournaments all over, from Pennsylvania to New Jersey to North and South Carolina, always being my escort to all those things, always giving me great advice, always making sure that I stay level-headed and always being there no matter what. And finally, I want to say thank you to my big sister, Lauren, for not only being there just like my mom and my dad were, but for providing another kind of support that I couldn't get from either of them. Always being there to laugh, always being there to take stupid videos, always being there in car rides, listening to old rock music. From everything we've done since a little age, you've always been there for me. Love you, big sister. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, COVID-19, for giving me the wonderful option of not having a senior trip. It's all I wanted.
Thank you, Rhoda, for never letting me see my friends in person ever again. Oh gosh.
COVID-19. Thank you for never letting me experience senioritis. I got a free pass out of school.
Thanks, Corona, for not taking away nature.
Thank you, coronavirus. I no longer have to shower. Clorox is now my shower.
Oops, by the way, I forgot. Hey, thanks, Mom! I love you!
Is that a G? COVID-19 for coming and spoiling my year. That was bad. I forgot what I was saying.
All right. We will post that again to Facebook. I heard it was a little hard to see, so we will put that on there. You can see it a little bit better. And now we're going to ask our class of 2020 to stand. Miss Rebecca, as you guys will come forward. Very glad to have all 5 of you here. And there's 2 that couldn't make it. And I just wanted to share a few notes, words to you guys, to the class of 2020. And I'm borrowing some of these words from Carla Williams, the UVA athletic director, because she said it so well. I want to ask one of the same questions she did. How will you be remembered? Some will remember you by the way you ended your spring semester. Some will remember you by the power of the journey because of your perseverance. And I think that's the key word for y'all, isn't it? Perseverance. You were cut short of a lot of laughs that you will never get back, and yet the word that describes it best today is perseverance. Did you know the actual definition fits you to a T? It says a continued effort to do or achieve something despite of difficulties, failures, or opposition. It's steadfast. And Ashley Stanley, you had health issues and yet you persevered, and now you have your master's degree. Morgan Schweier, you were an incredible best friend to one who lost their dad, and you comforted them in the midst of your school and even your birthday. You persevered as a true friend. And all of you Liberty High School students and homeschool students, everything you've gone through, everything you will go through, makes you who you are today. Because on Friday, March the 13th, everything changed, right? The schools closed, and within 48 hours, you had your last practice, your last rehearsal, your last drama production of the year. Didn't even get to finish that. You're expecting to end a senior year that was cut short. We know that adversity builds character. So how do you act when you're disappointed, when you get knocked down? None of us knew COVID-19 would hit us and affect us the way it did. I believe you will find opportunity, though, when others see obstacles. I believe that you will not just survive, but that you will thrive. You will get up again and again. I believe you will lead when it is time to lead. I believe you will inspire those around you. I believe you will have compassion to those who are suffering. You will make a great impact in whatever you do. You will make a difference. I believe as you worship, grow, and go, you will trust in the Lord even more. And I love this verse that I think also fits. It's Psalm 112, verse 7, and it says, "They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord." So persevere, trust, and move forward. First, I'd like to congratulate Ashley Stanley, who isn't with us here today. She received her Master's of Professional Studies in Homeland Security and Geospatial Intelligence from Penn State. Her graduation day would have been May 9th. She graduated magna cum laude. Congratulations, Ashley. She is hoping, her plans after graduation, she is hoping to work for the State Department of the Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking, but she is excited to see wherever God may lead her. Congratulations, and go Nittany Lions. Morgan, you just got your undergraduate degree. You actually finished in May, that you would have walked yesterday and didn't get to. You received your Bachelor of Science degree in Liberal Studies with a concentration in Special Education from Longwood University. You will begin your Master's in Special Education and continue your education at Longwood University. Go Lancers. And now we're going to recognize all of our seniors. Stephen Hamilton, if you would come forward first. You're going to see some things about him back here, I hope. Stephen Hamilton will be graduating from Champions for Christ, a homeschool elite co-op, in the coming weeks. His activities, he's been a part of the Civil Air Patrol for almost 4 years, where he received the Billy Mitchell Award. It's equivalent to an Eagle Scout. And in 2018, while attending the Cyber Defense Training Academy, he received the Cadet of Excellence Award, which means he was a distinguished graduate of that Cyber Defense Training Academy. He is currently the officer in charge of the Squadron Cyber Patriot program. He has also been a part of the competitive robotics team for 3 years, and he was the lead student programmer for the last 2 years. And in 2018, his team was a part of the world's quarter finalists. He was a member of a drama team for years, about 10, with Torch, and did at least 10 productions. He belongs to the Lord Fairfax Math Club, and has been a member of our own praise team for the last 7 years. You do the math, he's 18. He loves World Changers and Centrifuge, and has been an active part of our youth ministry. This outstanding homeschooler has been an honor student for 13 years in a row. If you know his mom, you know he didn't scoot by with any easy classes. He has worked at his family's business, Global Automotive, since he was old enough to do so, and thanks to his dad, he knows a lot about cars, how to care for, maintain, and fix a car and drive it fast. I mean, safe. His plans after graduation are to continue with Lord Fairfax Community College until he gets his associates, then transfer to Virginia Tech for computer science and become a Hokie. Congratulations, Stephen. Connor Rogers. He'll be graduating from Liberty High School this coming week, where he and Madeline and Austin and Lauren get to walk alone across the stage, accompanied only by their parent, receive their degree, and then wave at a distance to their friends of 12 years. This has been a hard, crazy, surreal ending to their senior year, but they will keep their chin up and again persevering. Connor has been volunteering with us some on Mondays at a food pantry, and I've got to hear his heart on a lot of matters. He loves to hear people's stories and loves to help others. He was a part of Young Life and served on their summer camp staff one summer. He worked hard at World Changers through our youth group trips, and even volunteered and was awesome with our VBS. He helped encourage the champions of tomorrow with Special Olympics. Just so you know, he and his team this year holds the record in the 4x800 relay. They all went all the way to state. Is that right, Connor? And Connor is very athletic and was in cross country all 4 years and also participated in outdoor track for 2 and indoor for 4. He was part of lacrosse for 2 years and went to be was also part of the Student Council Association for 2 years. His plans after graduation are to attend Warren Fairfax, work, and then transfer to Longwood University and continue with his master's degree and become the coolest teacher ever. Thank you, Connor. Next, we're going to recognize Madeline Schweier. She will also graduate from Liberty University this week, summa cum laude. She was nominated for both the French and Governor's School and STEM and attended the Virginia STEM Governor's School. She was Math Student of the Month and won the Arts Eagle Award, Spirit Award. She was a member of the Liberty High School National Honor Society and Liberty High School National Art Honor Society, a part of the Homework Helpers and Peace Eagles, and a member of the academic team, the Scholastic Bowl. She was also part of the French Club and got to travel to France and was an active part of her drama club. She helped with 7 productions. She was a tech for 1 and managed 5, and the last one, The Sound of Music, sadly had to be canceled, one of my favorites. Since she has been at BBC, she has actively been a part of serving in our nursery and preschool department and helping in WAM and VBS. Her plans after graduation are to attend Liberty University for theater arts and to minor in French, and she will be trading in one eagle for another, so say hi to Sparky. Congratulations. And Austin Shutt. He will also graduate from Liberty High School this week. He was a member of the FFA for 3 years and an active member of Boy Scouts, where he did achieve his Eagle Scout Award. He was very active growing up and he loves hockey. If you know anything about their family, you know they love hockey. He participated on a team 6 to 7 years from like age 7 on up. At Liberty High School, he played lacrosse and football for 3 years. This year, he helped lead the Eagle team to an 11-1 record, and they went on to be district champs. Austin has been a part of our youth group and been on World Changer projects and has been on a trip, and he is a trip to be around. This kid is awesome, and when he prays, God definitely has given him understanding and wisdom. It'll be neat to see what God does. Austin is currently working at Home Depot and will be racing out the door to be there on time, we hope. We also got an Employee of the Month. And will attend a trade school or join an apprenticeship program to become a licensed electrician. So keep in touch with this guy. Congratulations, Austin. Our last senior that we get to recognize today is Lauren Merrill. She will also graduate from Liberty High School and Southeastern Alternative School this coming week. In 11th grade, she won the attendance award and received all A's. She was a part of art for all 4 years and joined a guitar ensemble this year. She loved her Teachers for Tomorrow class and enjoyed the student teaching. Each year, her school did symposiums where I know I got to see the things that she displayed in her art, her work, and presented to the parents and visitors. She did a great job. Lauren twirled for 10 years with the Tip Top Twirlers and has been involved as well for church, for media, VBS, choir, and praise team. She has a beautiful gift. Her plans after graduation are to take a break to work and save up money so she can get her license and travel out of state. This woman is ready to travel. Congratulations, Lauren. Pastor Rob, come pray, please. Awesome. Awesome people.
One of the things that I found out is that there's a specialness about a group of individuals, and so we're going to pray for them as a group, but there's also something special about each and every one of them. And as I look back on knowing all of them as they've grown up, there are words that have stuck out with me, and so I'm going to pray specifically for individuals as well. So join us as we go to the Lord. Father, I just thank you for this group of graduates in this year 2020. I ask that you be with them. Let them know that you are with them no matter where they go, that you will be there during the alone times like COVID-19, but you'll also be with them during the busy times and the times of great activity. Lord, I thank you for you bringing these young men and young women up together as a group, and may they depend on each other as they go forward. Father, I pray for Stephen, and I thank you for the grace that you've given him. I always enjoy how he can always look at a glass that sometimes is half empty and see it as half full, and I thank you for him. Lord, I pray for Connor. I thank you for his natural leadership that he has. Lord, I ask that you help him build on that. Father, we pray for Madeline and her intelligence and her quick and dry wit, and I ask that you be with her. Father, we pray for Austin and his steadiness. Lord, one of the exciting things about Austin is it never seems like he gets flustered. And I thank you for him, and I just ask that you continue to work through him. Lord, we pray for Ashley, and I know that you have made her persevere. And what a great gift that she has had, persevering through some difficult times. Continue to move her forward. And Lord, we pray for Morgan. And what a hardworking young woman this is. We expect great things upon graduation as a teacher and as she moves forward in her life. And Lord, we also pray for Morgan, and I just thank you for her. I thank you for the way that you have made her fun, that she has a cackle that lights up a room, that she is truly somebody who is going to overcome whatever you put before her. Lord, I thank you for this entire group, and I ask that you be with them. Let them know that they're loved, not only by God, who is great and awesome, but also a regiment of people here at Bealeton Baptist. And they always have a place to go. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Okay, so that is a lot of excitement and a lot of sadness if you're a mom like me, and I'm the only one that has 2 graduates. So it's been a really crazy couple days at the Schweiger house, and we have a lot more excitement in the next few days. So congratulations to all the graduates. Thank you to those of you that help us all the time with our kids. It's really fun. So I wanted to be lighthearted today. This isn't actually lighthearted because I'm a teacher, so we're going to have a quiz. And so what I thought you could do if you're watching by home, whether you're a kid or a grown-up, I'm going to ask some riddles about the Bible, and you can go ahead and type in the answer. So if you're sitting here in the congregation today, let's not call out the answers. But at the end of this little time, I'm going to share the answers with you. So go ahead and number your little computer there, 1 to 4. I'm going to give you 4 questions. So just type in, if you want to type in an answer in your comments, type in the correct number so we know that you're getting the right answer. Here's your first one. It's a who am I from the Old Testament. I disobeyed God's one wish, and I ended up in the belly of a fish. Now, don't call out your answers. For those of you that need it a second time, here's question 1. I disobeyed God's one wish, and I ended up in the belly of a fish. Who am I? So hold on. We have a few answers here, but we're just going to wait. Number 2. I took down a giant, and everyone said I was brave. But now I'm hiding in a cave. Who am I? Again, I took down a giant, and everyone said I was brave. But now I'm hiding in a cave. Number 3 is, I was famous for being strong, but that only lasted while my hair was long. That one on repeat. Number 3, I was famous for being strong, but it only lasted while my hair was long. Number 4, I prayed when the law said no one could pray, and God kept those hungry lions away. Now, this is one everybody should know. Let me just repeat it. I prayed when the law said no one could pray, and God kept the hungry lions away. Okay, so Madeline said she has 4 for 4. I think Stephen Gordon does too. Let's look at your answers. If you're watching by at home, I hope you put Jonah for number 1. Give yourself a pat on the back if that's what you did. Okay, 1 for 1. Let's go for 2 for 2. Number 2, let's just repeat for those of you who can't remember. I took down the giants and everyone said I was brave, but now I'm hiding in a cave. I hope you said David. Okay, number 3, I was famous for being strong, but that only lasted while my hair was long. Samson. And number 4, I prayed when the law said no one could pray, and God kept those hungry lions away. Daniel in the lion's den. Okay, 4 for 4. So next week we're going to do New Testament. We're going to see if that gets harder. So I wanted a little Bible review for you. If you're bored, you can watch my YouTube videos. I've got one, how to pick the best Bible story book for your children. That's this Wednesday at 10 on Facebook. I'm going to just post it right up there, and it's on YouTube. So happy watching. Let's pray as we go to our next part. Dear God, thanks for our teenagers and our college kids who are graduating. Thanks for your special hand of blessing on them during this crazy time that we have. We ask that you bless moms and dads and boys and girls at home and help us to stay in your word, because your word never changes. In your name we pray, amen.
Good morning. This is the time of offering, the time that we give of our tithes, and the way that God has blessed us. We have 3 different ways to do it since COVID has started. We have the online pay, what you can do through your bank. Just go to your bank and do the bill pay that they have. And the other is your Venmo app. If you have a Venmo app, you can go online and choose at Bealeton Baptist-Church and give to the church for God's word in that way. And the other way is to mail your check. You can mail your check payable to Bealeton Baptist Church at P.O. Box 50, Bealeton, Virginia 22712. And just take a moment to meditate and think about the help that Rebecca is playing.
Thank you, Rebecca. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high enthusiasm and of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall not be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat. Those words were spoken on the 23rd of April, 1910, by our 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt knew about what he was talking about. He had lived the vast majority of his life in the arena. As a young boy, born with failing eyesight and asthma, Roosevelt at times was bullied by bigger children. As a young husband, he saw his young wife die during childbirth on the same day and in the same house as his mother. As police commissioner in New York, he set out to combat corruption, only to come face to face with the sickness and deprivation of the tenement slums and slumlords of the city. As president, he fought against the mine owners for a square deal for the miners. He fought and against the railroad barons of his day. Theodore Roosevelt won the Nobel Peace Prize by doing what no other political figure up until that time had done, bringing peace to two warring nations outside his area of responsibility or his country's interest. He set aside land for national forests, passed the first workmen's compensation laws, and created the National Forest Service. Theodore Roosevelt lived his life in the arena. But if he lived today, he would almost certainly contrast the differences between the arena of his day and the arena of today. Roosevelt, a boxer, and the first American president, in fact, I think he was the only American president to hold a brown belt in judo, would acknowledge the bloodiness of his arena, but also remind us, at least, that his boxing ring had rules. Today, our arena is much more like an MMA octagon than a boxing ring. Rules that seemed to apply just a few years ago about the appropriate conduct between combatants and colleagues seem to no longer apply. The playing field has changed. Economically, socially, politically. And I think some would say even spiritually. Some would tell you to do not bother with the world. Live your life apart from the world. Separate from the culture around you. Hunker down and await for Jesus' second return. Others would say, live apart from God. He doesn't matter. What has he done for me during these last 4 weeks? Some would find reasons to not engage in this vast cultural arena. I would disagree with them, and more importantly, I think Jesus would disagree with them too. In fact, as the arena of life has gotten messier, the good news of Jesus Christ and its influence on the world around you and around me has and will become greater. Today, we see as our moorings are swept away, people more and more turning to their faith. The weaknesses of our society's foundations have been turned and torn away. Our spiritual foundations are the only things that remain. Our world is a world that hungers for good character and people of grit. Prior to COVID-19, I often met with businessmen. Some were owners of multi-million-dollar companies, others vice presidents and presidents in major defense contractors, and still others are just starting out as small businessmen. They are all hungering for the same thing. People of good character, people with grit, people who arrive on time, give a good day's work, speak the truth in grace, are honest, hardworking, conscientious about what they do. One businessman lamented to me that his company provides a great medical package, a great 401k, a great work atmosphere. If only he could find workers who knew that 8 o'clock start time meant 8 o'clock and not 8:15 or not 8:30 or not today. Character wins. Even if many in the culture do not have good character, it's surprising that people hunger for good character. It seems like a contradiction, but yet it is something that you talk with people and they yearn for. Leaders and followers yearn for people of good character and grit. They are looking for people who are steadfast with great perseverance. The innate ability to get up when you get knocked down. For many today, this virus has unexpectedly taken away events that we and you have looked forward to for years. And I in no way want to minimize the sadness of heart that you feel this day. But I also recognize the part these past 4 weeks will play in your life. Paul in Romans 5 reminds us, and we boast in the hope of the glory of God. Not only so, but we also glory in our suffering, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character. Character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit, who has been given to us. Perseverance is another name for grit. That inner strength that makes us keep going when others tell us to stay down. The good news this morning is if you are seeking after Jesus Christ in your life, you are fit to compete. You are fit to succeed. Your fruit, the good fruit, is what the arena wants. It is what the arena needs. Galatians 5:22 and 23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law." This fruit of the Spirit that God gives us, working through the hearts and minds of believers, is not to be pursued by all that is in our culture. But they are attracted to it when they see it. I remember reading something from General Norman Schwarzkopf, the hero leader of the first Gulf War. And he used to say when he went looking for junior officers to work for him, he looked for 2 things. He looked for competency and he looked for character. But if he could only have one, he would choose character all the time. He said he would take a chance on officers of good character with hopes that they would grow into the job. But he never took a chance on an officer of bad character, no matter how competent he or she seemed to be. The world is hungry for people of good character and grit. Small business people, family businesses, the military, global conglomerates. A small businessman may have the greatest sales pitch, but if he can't deliver on his promises, he is nothing. A family business won't last long if it has poor character. So strive to be people first and foremost of good character. And be people who will persevere, who will have grit. You won't regret it. And you will be an asset to whatever endeavor you find yourself in. If you are going to survive in the arena of life, maintaining good character and grit will not be easy. Be aware, good character bleeds. And if you're in the arena long enough, left to yourself, good character will be compromised. It will be drained out of you. Grit can also be compromised when times get tough. And if you try to do it on your own, I will tell you, there's a good chance you're going to fail. And if you don't believe that, all you really need to do is take a look at the list of leaders, both Christian leaders and others, who have blown up their legacies in the last few years because they had forgotten that we are all weak at heart, and we are not strong enough to do it on our own. Let me tell you a well-kept secret. The key to good character is not striving after good character. Good character without some type of anchor point is variable. It changes with the tides. Good character without an anchor moves like a ship in the storm. The key to good character is making sure your anchor is set and you're leaning on something and hanging on to something of strength. Perhaps leaning on your relationship with Jesus Christ. This week, I was saddened to hear of the loss of a good friend. Richard Bartholomew and I have become good friends over these last couple of years. And Richard passed away suddenly. It seems like it was only 4 weeks ago that I was talking with him about the next sermon he was going to preach. And as I look back over the last 4 weeks, I realized that there were men of great strength and of great power that we have lost. The Dave Simpsons, the Richard Bartholomew's, the Jim Duvals, and all had one thing in common. It all happened suddenly. So to any graduate, to anybody who's listening this morning, I would tell them to get down and work on the important things of life. We can come up with a 2-year plan. We can come up with a 5-year plan. But none of those things are assured to us. What I would strongly suggest is get your priorities right. Deal with the things that will have eternal consequences in your life. Who you depend on. What direction you're going. And if at the end of this life, whenever that may be, and whenever that may occur, there will be somebody there saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant." As you learn to follow him, Jesus Christ, and you learn from the Master and tie yourself to him, I will tell you, grit and character will be the byproduct of that relationship. A few years ago, I was out in Nashville, Tennessee, visiting members of Lifeway Research. And one of the things that became apparent to their research is that there is very little correlation between highly functioning Christian adults and such things as church attendance, the number of mission trips you go on, the amount of money you contribute, or even perfect Sunday attendance. The greatest impact on the quality and the depth of Christian adults is how well they learn to practice personal Christian disciplines. Studies show that the ones that make it a practice to pray daily, that they practice and they engage with their Bibles, as well as translating their personal relationship with Jesus Christ into a Christian worldview that is seen by others. Those are the ones that succeed in adulthood. Studies show that it's not even close. That these three things define who we are, and everything else falls by the wayside. Whether you are the class of 2020 or anyone else who battles despair this morning, if you want to be successful in the future, practice those heavenly and those spiritual disciplines. And through them, you will gain character and you will gain grit to live and be successful in the arena of life. If you want to show people what it means to have grit, make sure you have a consistent prayer life. Engage your Bible often. Continue to go and do the things that you know you're supposed to do so that when you get out into your life, you can go and live. You can go and fight. You can go and live the adventure. Whether it's college, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new perspective on things, go. But whatever you do it with character and grit from the place that it only can be successful in coming from. The person in the presence of Jesus Christ in your life. Let us pray. Heavenly Gracious Father, once again we do pray for our seniors. We pray for our graduates today. Lord, they all have different challenges coming up in their lives. Some are going to be looking for jobs. Others are going to be going on to higher education. Still others are going to be working in fields that, at this point, they have never experienced before. Lord, I pray for them. Let them know that the foundation of who they are is not to be found in their bank account, is not to be found in the books that they have piled up, that foundation will be found in Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ alone. And it's in His name we pray this morning. Amen.
Would you sing with us on our closing song? You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you, I worship you, Lord. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God. That is who you are. God bless. Congrats, 2020 class.